Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the furnace. Tonight, you will listen to words meant to wake something inside you that does not wake easily: a strength, a will, a quiet authority you own but have not yet summoned. This is not a speech about luck. This is a plan for becoming relentless. Your mind is the strongest muscle you own. It can break or it can build. Yet, most people treat it like a passenger instead of a pilot. They let feelings steer the ship. They surrender to moods and to circumstance. But you can choose another path. You can train this muscle until it fights for you, not against you. Imagine a life where you decide, and then you do. Where doubt is a brief visitor and action is permanent, not because you were born that way, but because you taught yourself to be that way. The mind is trainable. The mind grows under ordered pressure the same way a body grows under weight. For the next 90 minutes, listen with the intent to change, not to feel momentary inspiration, but to install practices, to make commitments, to harden resolve. This is the work of those who do not wait for the wind. They build sails. We begin by clearing what holds you back. There are 3 enemies you fight before you fight the outside world: distraction, doubt, and delay. Distraction steals hours. Doubt steals decisions. Delay steals momentum. Discipline defeats them all. Discipline is not the absence of feeling. Discipline is the choice to act despite feeling. It is decisive. It is boring. It is lonely. But it is the only thing that compounds into greatness. A life of discipline is not easy. It is earned one small victory at a time. Think of every moment you postponed something meaningful. A call you never made. A draft you never finished. A habit you let slip. Each postponement is a withdrawal from your future. Small debts compound into regret. Pay back those debts now with simple actions. Start where you stand. Look at what is directly in front of you and do it. Clean the small things. Make the bed. Put on shoes. Sit down and write 1 paragraph. Do 1 push-up. Take 1 step. These tiny acts of discipline reset your nervous system. They tell your brain that you are a person of action. When you practice this, the world will test you, and the test will be repeated until you pass. But you will pass if you keep showing up, not because it's glamorous, but because it works. This is how minds grow: through repetition, through tiny, stubborn acts that refuse to stop. So begin now with commitment. Promise yourself 1 disciplined action before the sun sets. This promise is the first rep. The first rep becomes 2, then 10, then a habit. And habits become identity. Train your mind like a muscle. Respect the rep. Discipline is a muscle that responds to tension. When you apply stress with purpose, it grows. When you apply stress by accident, it breaks. We will learn how to direct stress into practice, the single most effective lever you have for shaping your life. First, structure your day to win. Your environment is an instruction manual for your behavior. Remove temptations. Design your workspace so focus is the path of least resistance. Remove noise. Place a notebook and pen where decisions are made. Make the first action obvious. Second, set Humans often fail not because the goal is too big, but because the gap between thought and action is too wide. Cut tasks into 2-minute entries. Write 1 sentence, read 1 page, walk to the end of the block. Reduce the starting friction. Third, enforce minimum viable discipline. When you commit, define the smallest sustainable ritual you can do daily. The 2-minute rule is not a trick, it is an engine. It gets you moving. When you get moving, inertia builds into a run. Fourth, build identity by repetition. Each disciplined act tells your brain, again and again, the story of who you are. I am someone who finishes what I start. Say it until the muscle believes it. Fifth, master attention. Attention is the currency of achievement. Train the mind to resist the ping of distraction. Set boundaries. Turn off notifications. Use focus blocks. Guard your focus like gold. Sixth, practice mental toughness through chosen discomfort. Do what is hard on purpose. Cold showers, early starts, hard reads, Difficult conversations. These are exercises. They build your tolerance for challenge. 7th, measure, reflect, iterate. Keep a record. Your progress is not a feeling. It's data. Look back on what worked, what failed, and adjust the next cycle. The disciplined mind learns from both success and failure, quickly and without ego. Fear is a fossilized story about what could go wrong. Distraction is a steady whisper that tells you to get comfortable. Both conspire to steal your potential. To fight, Tim, you must name them and then outwork them. Fear is useful. It warns you, but fear often overestimates danger and underestimates your capacity to survive. Reframe fear as information. Use it to prepare, not to paralyze. One method, controlled exposure. If public speaking terrifies you, speak for 3 minutes every day. If rejection scares you, make a small outreach list and send one message. Each small exposure recalibrates the mind. Distraction thrives in unstructured time. When your schedule is empty, your phone fills it with cheap stimuli. Structure steals back that time. Fill your schedule with meaningful friction tasks that require thought, not scroll. Practice deliberate boredom. Scheduled periods with no stimulation. Sit with your thoughts. Watch the urge to flee. Notice it, and then do not act on it. This trains your prefrontal cortex to tolerate discomfort without surrender. The enemy of deep work is the constant habit of context switch. To do meaningful work, you must build long, deep blocks. Start small, 20 minutes, then 40, then an hour. Protect these blocks fiercely. When the mind wanders, and it will bring it back gently, don't scold yourself. Think like a trainer. You're strengthening neural pathways. Each return is a rep. Each rep is progress. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision that something else is more important than fear. Choose what you value, and then take your next action in its name. Focus is the art of saying no to good things, so you can say yes to great things. Choose one field where you will win. Narrow your scope. Depth beats breadth every time. Meditation, reflection, and controlled breathing are the mental lifts. They strengthen the executive functions that regulate attention, the same muscles used to complete deep tasks. 5 minutes of daily practice compounds into months of improved clarity. Adopt single tasking. Multitasking is a myth. To build concentration, remove the illusion that you can do 2 heavy things well at once. Commit wholly to one work block. Finish it. Feel the satisfaction of completion. Use rituals to prime focus. The same simple actions can signal to your brain, it's time to perform. A cup of tea, a clean desk, a 5-minute breath exercise, the same playlist. Rituals lower cognitive friction. Learn to process emotions quickly and release them. Rumination eats attention. When an emotion arises, name it, accept it, and then schedule a time to process it. Don't let feelings hijack your work now. Your environment decides much of your outcome. Curate Italiano. Minimalist spaces, good light, fresh air, and a simple layout reduce mental noise and let focus flourish. The simplest environment that supports the task is the best environment. Create focus rituals for transition. Before a focused block, do a 30-second ritual. Clear the desk, unclench your shoulders, set a timer. These micro-rituals cue the brain to enter concentrated mode. Inner peace is not the byproduct of an easy life. It is the byproduct of disciplined attention. When you decide the things that matter and commit to them, peace follows as a steady undercurrent. Pain is a stern teacher. It shapes character the way friction shapes steel. Instead of avoiding pain, choose what pain you will take. Choose productive pain, the kind that moves you forward. There are 3 productive pains: physical, intellectual, and emotional. Physical pain from exercise conditions, the body, and the temperament. Intellectual pain from difficult books and hard problems strengthens the mind. Emotional pain from facing truth builds maturity. Physical discipline primes the brain. When you exercise, You increase neurochemicals that sharpen focus and mood. A disciplined body leads to a disciplined mind. Start with movement. Make it non-negotiable. Intellectual pain comes from stretching the mind, reading complex material, solving problems you once thought too hard. Choose books that are above your comfort. Struggle with them. The struggle itself is the training. Emotional pain is the last frontier. It means looking in the mirror and accepting where you are. It means apologizing. It means finishing hard conversations. Emotional courage is rare and becomes a force multiplier. Adopt a practice of voluntary discomfort. Fast for a day. Sleep a little less on purpose. Walk without your phone. These micro-discomforts teach you to tolerate hardship on your terms. The habit of resilience forms when you choose pain with purpose. You stop fleeing. You start choosing. You then discover that most fears were smaller than you thought, and most obstacles softer than promised. When pain is chosen, it loses its power to break you. It becomes the raw material of transformation. Use it. Refine yourself with it. Let it make your mind unbreakable. You have trained your focus, faced fear, chosen discomfort. You have stacked habits and built rituals. Now, we will turn this into momentum. Momentum is the secret weapon of the disciplined. Momentum gathers when you do not stop. Even small, imperfect work, repeated daily, compounds into unstoppable force. The compound interest of consistent effort beats short bursts of intensity every time. Make bold commitments, not for applause, but for identity. I will write every morning for 365 days. I will train 5 times a week. Large commitments force systems into being. They expand your capacity. Protect your time like a fortress. Guard it against triviality. When you protect your time, you protect your future. When you waste time, you squander potential. Discipline is the moat around your ambitions. Surround yourself with people who raise standards. The average of your close people